Hello, and welcome to day 13 of 30 Days of Q&A, where today I'm going to be answering the question, how can I boost my productivity? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Janine Esperand, and I'm the founder of Lightbox Coaching, where I help women to return to work with confidence and build careers that they love whilst raising a family. Alright, so today we're diving into the question of productivity and how we can boost productivity. We have been talking about returning to work over the last few days, and one of the things that's really important is for you to feel as though you are as productive as possible when you are at work. So before we dive in, say hi, let me know where you're joining from. I'd love to know, so type in the comments even if you're catching the replay. It's always good to know who's joining us. So we're talking about productivity. There's lots of different ways that you can be more productive, but I want to talk to you about two different ways that you can apply to your day-to-day working practices that's going to help you to get more done in the time that you have. So if you are a busy mum, if you are someone who is just starting out as a working mum, you may be trying to figure out how you can fit more into less time. So if you're working flexibly or you're working reduced hours or maybe less days of the week, you might be wondering, how do I get all my work done so that I can leave the office feeling like I've done a good job, but also make sure that I leave dead on time so I can pick up my child from childcare. So I'm going to talk to you about thinking and implementing a different way to approach your workload on a day-to-day basis. All right, so the first thing I want to talk to you about is a concept called time batching. And so what this really goes to is to help you to take the tasks that you're doing that are very similar and do them all at the same time, or not at the same time, do them all close together. So if you have to send emails, if you have to draft letters, or you have to be on the phone, or you have to be out meeting people, it's a really good idea to try as much as possible to group the tasks that are similar together. And the reason why you want to do that is because every time you have to switch from doing one type of task to another, your brain has to switch gears. And when you switch gears and you have to switch back again, you lose time and momentum. So have you ever been in this scenario, and this has happened lots of times, where you're reading through a document or you're reading through something and then your phone rings, and then you pick up the phone, you have a conversation, and then it takes you a while to settle back into what it is that you're doing. Or you might be in the middle of doing something and then you get an email notification and then you start reading that email, and then before you know it, you've gone down a rabbit hole of responding to that email, and then you haven't returned to the task that you did at the beginning. So that often happens because now we are always bombarded with information. So we live in a time where there's constantly something that's vying for your attention, whether that is your email mailbox or that is your phone notifications or social media or other people. It's good to get into the habit of really being intentional and focused about what you are working on and what you are doing, and then cutting out all the other distractions. So you can turn off notifications, and you don't have to respond to your emails as soon as they come into your inbox. So get into the habit and train your brain to not want to look for those distractions and not be sucked into those distractions. And so one of the ways that you do that is you take a step back and you say, okay, what do I need to get done? What are the tasks? And then group them together and say, during this time and this time, I'm going to focus on responding to emails. So, that might be the first thing in the morning. And then during this time and this time, I'm going to focus and get my head down and do the drafting that I need to do. And during this time and this time, or on this day, I'm going to schedule all of my meetings, so that you're doing those things close together that are similar, and then you'll be in the zone. So you're going to get far more done than if you were jumping from one task to another throughout your day, throughout your whole day. And it's also helpful for you to then look at your calendar and you can decide, well, which days am I going to dedicate to certain work? And obviously there's going to be things that are going to come up where other people have asked you to do things, or there's unexpected work that comes in. But if you can have your core foundation where you are taking a look at your week overall and looking at what it is you have coming up, and you can start putting some things in the calendar and scheduling your time effectively, then you're just being more intentional is going to help you to boost productivity. But you focusing on tasks and eliminating distractions is going to absolutely boost your productivity. So try implementing that. And I think that you will find that you get through a lot more than if you just go with the flow and just have an ongoing to-do list, and then you just work through your to-do list and tick everything off. Sometimes that is not the most effective, because you might have things on the top of your to-do list that take a lot of time and energy, and then you're not getting to the ones on the bottom, or you have things that are that are on there that are little things, loads of little things, but you're having to jump around to do them, and therefore your output isn't as great as it could have been. So that's the first thing. The second thing kind of leads on from the idea of listing out what you have to do, and it is to spend some time prioritizing your to-do list. So it's really easy to just start writing a list and have a long list of things that you need to do and work through, but often the things on your list are not always really important things, and they're not really always urgent things. They might just be things that need to get done, and those things can sometimes get done before the things that are like super important. So what you want to do is look at your list and start to prioritize. Be realistic about the time that you have, and say, okay, from this list, what are the top 3 things? Just choose 3 things that I absolutely have to get done. So these are the top 3 things that I need to get done today, and that's going to help you to eliminate the things that could be pushed to another day, or the things that could be delegated to someone else. So you want to highlight, what are the 3 things that I have to do today, and then you know that that is your focus. And then it also helps for you to feel a sense of achievement by the end of the day. If you have ticked off those 3 things on your list, then that's a good day. You've done those 3 things. So getting to the habit of looking at your to-do list and prioritizing is really useful, and then taking the things and then put the other things that don't get done, and then deciding which day you're going to prioritize those things. And following on from that, you can decide, okay, well, these are all going to be priorities at some point this week. Let me put some time, or block out some time in the calendar where I'm going to focus on those particular tasks. So that's another way for you to work through your to-do list and the tasks that you have. So if you can go back to work, or return to work, or if you are already working, if you can start to implement these strategies, you're gonna see how much more productive you are, and how much more stressed and overwhelmed you feel by what seems like the never-ending task list that you have in terms of your work life. And you can also apply this to your home life and the things that you need to get done at home and around your family. So I hope you found those useful. I would love for you to come back and join me tomorrow. If you have any friends who are in the stage of job searching, or returning to work, or dealing with anything career related, this whole series over the 30 days, we are tackling lots of different questions that people have. And so share with them this video and let them know about this series, because I may well be answering a question that they would find useful. And the other thing I want to say is, come join me in my private Facebook community, the Careers Beyond Motherhood community. Is a place where there are a wonderful group of women who are building careers whilst raising a family, and so we're in there talking about all things related to careers and motherhood, and encouraging one another and offering support, training and guidance. So if you've liked what we talked about today, then you should really hop on into the group and see what's going on there. I'll post a link to the group so that you can go and check it out. But yeah, that's all from me today, and I'll be back again, not tomorrow, but I'll be back again on Sunday with day 14 of 30 days of Q&A. All right, bye.